Hello everybody and Happy New Year! I hope you all enjoyed your Christmas and New Year with your families. It's crazy to think it's 2021. Well, the first project we're going to do for this year is we're going to build a snowman. We are going to have fun with this snowman. As you can see, he looks a little different. This one's supposed to just be a little funny and comical. He is all excited and he's looking up into the sky and so happy it's starting to snow. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you the materials that you need for this project, and then we're going to get started building our snowman. We also are going to focus on using shapes to build our snowman this month. So we'll talk about that a little later. The materials you're going to need for this month's project is you're going to need your drawing pad of white paper. If you don't have a drawing pad, just grab some copy paper. You're going to need your pack of construction paper. Now, if you do not have a pack of construction paper, it's okay. You can still do this project. You can just get about 3 pieces of white paper and that will work too. There's also construction paper in the art room in the front of the room on the right-hand side on the big shelves. But you need to get permission from your supervisor first. If it is not convenient for you to go to the art room, it's okay. Just grab a few extra pieces of white paper and you can still do this project. And I'll explain that later in the video. You'll also need your washable markers, your crayons, a pair of scissors, a glue stick. If you do not have a glue stick, you can use your liquid glue, a pencil, and an eraser. In this month's project, we are going to focus on shapes. Shapes are pretty much in everything, like the snowman. Can you see all the different shapes in the snowman? Well, as we build our snowman, we are going to talk about the different shapes we will be using to build our snowman. So why don't we go ahead, get our materials, and let's get started. The first step in building our snowman is drawing our snowman. And the first shape we're going to use in drawing our snowman is, can you guys guess it? A circle. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our white piece of paper and we are going to, towards the top of our paper, we're going to draw a nice big circle for our snowman's head. Now remember, we are going to cut these snowmen out so you can make his head as big as you want it to be. And there is the head of my snowman, a nice big circle. Now we're going to give him a body, and we're going to do that by drawing 2 curved lines. I'm going to start on the one side of my snowman and draw a curved line outward down to the bottom of my paper like this. Starting at the bottom of his head and just curving my line outwards as I draw towards the bottom of the paper. And now I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And there we have the body of our snowman. Now that we have the body of our snowman drawn, we're going to cut him out. We're only going to cut on the outside of our snowman. So just cut along the outer lines of your snowman. Make sure you take your time, practice those scissor skills so you have a nice looking snowman in the end. after you cut your snowman out, you should have something that looks similar to this. You can go ahead and lay your snowman to the side, and now grab your pack of construction paper. What you're going to do is you're going to pick the color you want for the background of your snowman. Now I used blue because I wanted to make it look like a wintry, cold scene. So you could use a shade of blue, or you could use purple, or if you just want to be fun and creative, you can just use whatever color you want. If you do not have construction paper, you can ask your supervisor for permission to go to the art room, and up in the front of the art room on the right hand side on those big wooden shelves, there's some construction paper. Or you can just get another piece of white paper and you can just take a crayon and you just can color some blue or purple or whatever colors you want. You could even make it rainbow colors if you want. You can just color your own background with your crayon, but you want to do that before we glue the snowman on, which is our next step. Now it's time to glue our snowman body onto our background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my snowman and I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm going to put the glue on the side of the snowman where my lines show. That way we'll glue that down and you won't be able to see those. So I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm just gluing on a scrap piece of paper so I don't get glue all over my table. And I'm just going to put glue all around the edges of my snowman, along the sides, and along the bottom, and even some through the middle. And I'm going to flip my snowman over, and then I'm just going to try to center him in the middle of my paper, and I'm going to line the bottom of my snowman up with the bottom of my paper, and then I'm just going to press him down, making sure I get those edges really good so he sticks. And you should have something that looks similar to this. The next step into building our snowman is giving our snowman his carrot nose. And what shape are we going to use to make our snowman's nose? A triangle. So what you want to do is you want to grab some orange construction paper from your pack of construction paper. Now again, if you do not have colored paper, you can just go ahead and use white paper and you'll just have to color it in with a crayon or a marker or something like that. So go ahead and just grab your paper, and you need to think about how big do you want this snowman's nose. You can make it as tall or as short or as wide or as thin as you want it to be. So go ahead and draw a triangle for your snowman's nose. And that's my triangle. Once you have your triangle drawn, go ahead and take your scissors and cut your triangle out. Again, taking your time, practicing those scissor skills, trying to control the scissors as we cut. Once you have the nose cut out, go ahead and grab your glue and put some glue around all three edges of your triangle. And then you're going to take your snowman, and as you can see, I put the bottom of my triangle just a little above halfway in the circle. Oops, sorry, you can't see that, can you? Now you can see it. I put the bottom of my triangle about halfway down the snowman's head. Now I have mine going straight up, but if you want to make yours a little crooked, you can do that too. So you just have fun with that. So I'm just going to take my carrot nose and I'm just going to glue it onto my snowman's head. You just want to make sure you leave room to put a mouth underneath his nose and a scarf. And you should have something that looks similar to this. Once you have his nose glued on, you want to grab your brown washable marker, because now we're going to draw his arms. Now you can make his arms as big or small as you want them to be. This is your snowman. Maybe he has one big arm, maybe he has one small arm. So you can make them how you want them to be. All I did is I just drew some squiggly wavy lines that connected to my snowman's body. So I started at his body, and then I just drew some squiggly wavy lines up, and then I just drew 3 little lines off the top to represent his little hand, like that. And then you just go ahead and draw another one on the other side. And now your snowman should have some arms and hands to catch those snowflakes. The next step to building our snowman is giving him a nice warm scarf around his neck. Now, the next shape we're going to use in making his scarf is a rectangle. So we are going to make some rectangles to make our snowman's scarf. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back to your construction paper and you're going to pick 2 colors you want your snowman's scarf to be. So as you can see here, I used yellow and red. So find the 2 colors you want for your snowman scarf and go ahead and pull those all out. If you do not have construction paper, again, you're just going to follow the same process with white paper and just color it in with crayons or markers. Now the colors I chose for my scarf are yellow and green. You want to take one of your colors, it doesn't really matter which one, and you're going to take the top edge of your paper and you're going to take the corner of the top edge and you're going to line it up with the side of your snowman's head. Can you see that? So I have the top corner of my paper and I lined it up with the side of my snowman's head. And now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to find the other side of my snowman's head and I'm just going to make a little line right here on my paper, and that's going to help me know how wide to make my scarf. And now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to see where the paper touches my snowman's body, and I'm going to make another line here, basically giving us the size that we need to cut for our snowman scarf to fit around his neck. Once you have those 2 marks drawn, you're going to go ahead and you're going to go to your top mark and just draw a straight line down, like this. And then you're just going to come over to your side mark and you're going to draw a straight line all the way across till you meet your vertical line that you drew over here. It doesn't have to be perfect, just eye it. And now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut out that rectangle that I just drew. Once you cut out the rectangle for your scarf, you're going to take that rectangle and you're going to lay it back down on the same color of paper, and you're going to trace around it. And you're going to cut again that rectangle out with your scissors. What we're doing is we're making the second part of our scarf. So now I should have 2 rectangles of the same color. Now that we have our 2 rectangles, we're going to take one of our rectangles and we are going to just cut it a little shorter than our other one. As you can see, the part of the scarf that's hanging down is a little shorter than the part that goes around the neck. So we're just going to take one of our rectangles and we're just going to cut off a chunk at the end and just make it a little shorter, and then just put the little piece you cut off to the side because we don't need that anymore. So you should have a short rectangle and a long rectangle. Now that we have our 2 rectangles, we're going to set our short rectangle to the side, and we're going to take our longest rectangle and we're going to take our second color of construction paper that we chose for our scarf, and we're going to lay our longest rectangle on our second color of construction paper, and we are going to trace around that rectangle and then cut that rectangle out. And we are going to use this rectangle to make the stripes in our scarf. If you remember, he has some pretty stripes going through his scarf. So that's what we're making this rectangle for. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this rectangle that we just cut out and we are going to cut it into some smaller rectangles to make our stripes. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to start cutting this into strips like this. And that will give us the stripes for our scarf. Now that we have all our rectangles, you should have 2 of the same color, a long and a short, and then you should have all of these little rectangles for your stripes of your second color. We are going to start gluing this together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my longest rectangle of my first color and I'm going to put glue on the back of that. Again, I'm putting the glue on the side where my lines show, so you can't see those in my finished project. And then I'm going to just take it and I'm going to glue it right across the middle of his neck, like that. Making sure I press down those edges really good so it sticks. And then I'm going to take some of my little stripes I made of my second color, and I'm going to glue those across my scarf. But I'm going to keep some space in between my stripes so my first color shows through as well. Again, I'm going to take one of these little stripes of my second color and I'm going to just glue it across my scarf like that. Until I get to the end. Again, I'm going to put some space in between my stripes so my yellow shines through as well. So go ahead and glue on your stripes. Once you have the first part of your scarf done, now it's time to do the second part. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our short rectangle of our first color and we're going to put glue on the back of that. And then we're going to glue it at the end of our scarf at an angle. So we're going to just angle it at the end of our scarf and just press that down. So you should have something that looks like this. And then you can take the rest of your stripes from your second color and you can glue those across your second rectangle of your scarf. Now if you ran out, you can always cut some more. So go ahead and glue the stripes across the second part of your scarf. Now that we've given our snowman a scarf, it's time to give him a mouth and some buttons. So what you're going to do is think about what kind of mouth do I want to give my snowman. Now I just gave him an opened mouth, like he's all excited and happy it's starting to snow. But you could give him a smiley face by making a few more rocks or chunks of coal for his mouth. And then down here I gave him 3 buttons, but you could give him 2 big buttons or 1 big buttons or lots of little buttons. So you can just think about how you want to do that for your snowman. Now you notice that I did not just draw perfectly straight, neat circles because I want these to resemble like pieces of coal or stone or rock that I just maybe picked up from my driveway or something. So I just gave my circles wavy edges when I drew them, and then I just colored them in with my black marker. Now I'm going to give this snowman a little different look for something fun. I'm going to give him a smiley face. So I'm going to start in the middle under his nose and do a squiggly circle, and then I'm going to come up here and make another one to make one corner of his mouth, and then another one to make the other corner. And then I'm just going to color those in. And then I'll color those in. And down here, I'm going to give him 2 big buttons for something different. So I'm just going to draw 2 big squiggly circles. And then I'll color those in as well too. So go ahead and give your snowman a face and some buttons. Now some of you may be wondering why we did not give our snowman some eyes. Because we're trying to give the illusion that our snowman is looking up, so his carrot nose is sticking high up into the sky and you can only see his mouth underneath. So that's why we're not giving our snowman some eyes. Now after you've given him a smile and some buttons, you're going to want to grab your white crayon because it's time for the last and final step. We are going to make it snow. And at this point, you can take your white crayon and you can draw whichever snowflakes you want to draw. As you can see, I just even made some little circles and dots to represent some snowflakes. And then I also drew some lines, crossed some lines over each other with some dots at the end to represent some snowflakes. So you can just be creative and draw your own snowflakes and make your snowman happy. Now I'm going to show you how I drew my snowflakes, but again, you can decide to draw your own. Now if you were using white paper and you colored in your background with a crayon or something else, I'm not sure how your white crayon is going to work. So if your white crayon does not want to show up depending on what you did with your background, you don't have to use white. You could use blue or purple or another color. So don't think that you can't make snowflakes just because you can't use a white crayon. Go ahead and pick another color and make it snow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my snowman and I'm going to start out by just making an X. Like this. And then I'm going to draw a vertical line going straight down through the middle of my X. And then I'm going to draw a horizontal line going straight through across the middle of my X the other way. So you should have something that looks like that. And now I'm just going to color a dot. Whoop. Whoop. Oh man, hold on guys. My camera's falling. Sorry about that. I'm going to color a dot on the end of each line. And that is one way you can make a snowflake. And then the other way is you can simply just color some dots throughout your background. So go ahead and have fun making it snow. I hope you guys enjoyed building your snowmen this month. I am so excited to see all the fun snowmen that you built. Now remember, we kind of made a mess this month, so please do a really good job cleaning up your areas when you're done with your project. And Lord willing, I will see you next month with another video. So till then, take care. Bye.